everybody. I'm making today a creamy, cheesy potato leek soup. Okay, so what I have here is my huge. It's my 1 gallon pot, and I have about 3 tablespoons of butter in there and about 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. So basically I'm going to caramelize some onions in here and we'll get started. So here I have my ingredients. I'm going to make a roux, so that's why I have this this flour, what's left of it. This came from my daughter's school. She does not like cheese just like that, so I'm going to throw this into the pot to make the cheesiness. I also have, I'm reusing the bags that come from my daughter's school as well, but I have a bag of cheddar cheese in there that's open, so just to have it extra sealed. Then I have this instant potatoes. I use half a packet, and I like the roasted garlic just to add the flavor. So basically I'm going to add that to thicken my soup as well as the roux. I'm keeping the milk in the fridge. So anyway, today I'm going to be using red potatoes, and I'm keeping the skin on. I'm just going to wash them really well, and you know, take out these little growths that are coming out. Anyhow, and here are my leeks. They've been in the fridge for a while. I do cut off the bottom of my leeks, and I put them in water to regrow leeks, and they're regrowing beautifully outside. So I'm going to take off these old pieces and I'm going to cut them up. Soup is very forgiving. Just want to let you guys know that. Soup is forgiving. So, you know, you have, you know, like an ugly leaf. Maybe it's, you know, a little bit ugly at the end there or whatever. You know, go ahead and cut it off. But, you know, if something gets in there that's ugly, guess what? It's going to boil in and nobody's going to tell. Just as long as it's, you know, washed and not rotten. You know, that looks rotten. But, you know, soup is very forgiving, and it'll boil all kinds of stuff out. Ooh, yeah, look at that. It's a little dirt. Okay, so I got to make sure to really clean those. Anyway, and so I'm going to have granulated onion, garlic powder, and some salt. And I wanted to show you, hiding behind here at Ace Hardware, they were selling potatoes that were sprouting. So, but I do have my onion top here, which this side right here goes down like this into a cup of water. And make sure the water doesn't cover too much of that part, because it will get moldy, yeah, and it'll kill it. But then you'll have the regrowth coming out here, and you can eat the regrowths, just like with garlic. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. I have my onions diced, and they're in the oil and butter mixture, and I added some salt to get these nice and caramelized. I added a little more oil or butter than usual, and so it looks like it's kind of swimming in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this oil for the roux. I'm also going to add my leeks to this part before I put my flour. So just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing here step by step, and I wanted to explain why there's so much oil in there. Okay. So leeks are, you know, they're very hardy. They're very rubbery. And I wanted to show you, you know, you basically can just like, they just kind of fold in with each other. See that? It just comes right out. You just keep folding them like one of those Marioshka dolls. They just kind of keep coming out. So there is some dirt in there. I'm gonna have to wash those out. Wash my hand off here real quick. Okay. So over here I have the leeks I already washed, and I'm chopping them in these little rings, and what I'm going to do is add them to my onion mixture over in the pot over there. So I'm going to add these to the onion mixture, then I'm going to add my flour, probably what's left in here, which is about maybe less than half a cup, and then I'm going to add milk in order to make my roux. And later I'm going to add these after I boil my potatoes. I'm going to dice up these potatoes kind of small, because I want to eat, you know, soon. If you have big chunks of potatoes, they take longer to cook. So, all right, be right back. I've got all my leeks in there now, and with my onions, I put some extra salt, and you see they're still kind of swimming in that oil. But these are going to render down quite a bit, and then I'll add my flour to it so I can make my roux. Leeks kind of, you know, they're an onion. Okay, I'm going to get started on the potatoes. So I turned down the heat a little bit. Look how it's rendering so nicely, almost kind of into like a spinachy look. Anyway, so I'm going to be adding my flour here soon, and then milk. But you add the flour, you mix it in until it becomes kind of a paste, and then you add the milk and you stir and stir, and it'll kind of thicken up your soup a little bit, but I'm not going to make it too thick yet because I want to boil my potatoes in the milky soup at that point. So I'm going to add my potatoes here pretty soon too, so I'll show you each step as we go. So I dumped the flour in, and I think it was a little bit more than I thought it was going to be. So hopefully, you see how it kind of pastes up like that? You don't ever want to put flour just in boiling liquid. You want to cut it with some oil first. Okay, and I'll be right back with the milk. Okay, so I poured the milk in and I turned the flame up because it's going to take some heat to disintegrate that flour oil mixture, that paste, into the rest of the soup. So anyhow, I'm going to probably put water the rest of the way up, and then I'll drop my potatoes in because I want it to be a full gallon of soup because I like to have leftovers. I like to save some for my parents so they can enjoy some. So anyway, be right back. Here I have some of my cubed potatoes. Anyway, they're kind of little. So I like to do them little like that because I want it to cook quickly. I got with my thumb, or I got with the knife. I scooped out the little eyes. I forgot what the word was earlier. On the potatoes. If I got lazy or just kind of bored of that, I got a knife and I kind of did this little scooping sort of like this action to scoop out the eyes. Anyway, so I'm just going to dice these all up, and I'm going to go stick them in my my soup, my roux, or whatever it is at this point. Okay. Alright, so I might have messed up with all that flour because it's kind of a thick soup. I had to add like a bunch of water to it, and so now, but the potatoes are going to take a little bit longer to cook at this point, so I'm glad I chopped them up pretty small. I put about 10 small potatoes in there. Now if you had those big russet Idaho potatoes, I'd put about 5 in there because you want to make soup. You don't want to make stew. You don't want to make mashed potatoes. And also might add some turmeric to it because turmeric has like a peppery flavor, and it also turns, whatever liquid it's in, or rice or whatnot, it turns it like a beautiful yellow color. So I kind of want to trick my eye into thinking I'm not eating milk potatoes. I want to have like kind of that buttery sort of look, Anyway, just wanted to show you. I got my garlic powder, my onion powder, my pepper going in, not my turmeric yet, and I got that little cheese stick I told you guys about. So you gotta continually stir it so you don't burn the bottom, because it will destroy the flavor. You burn something, it'll destroy the whole soup, so be careful with that, just to let you know. So I had a spillover. I put that lid on and it just really quickly did that. But so I added in the turmeric, maybe a couple tablespoons of it. It turned it maybe a little bit more yellow than what I wanted to, but isn't it pretty? I like to add a few more things when I'm working with vegetarian foods, just because, just to add it, give it a little more flavor, give it a little bit more texture, because sometimes people, really want that chewy, texture of meat to feel like they're getting nourished enough. So, anyway, I think these are done. I don't want to burn them, so I'm going to take them off. But yeah, I'll just sprinkle those on top, and it'll be delicious. Oh my goodness. Alright, it's boiling away here. I don't think it's cheesy enough. It just it has to make sense. Like I said before, don't put like strawberry jam in your soup, it doesn't make no sense. So anyway, a little spicy cheese in there, that's gonna add some flavor, and I'm gonna put some cheddar on top too. So, okay, also, it's looking pretty good here. I added about 3 tablespoons of that mashed potato mix, the roasted garlic mashed potatoes. Doesn't it look beautiful? It's got those red potatoes. The leeks kind of disintegrated into what looks like dill, but it's not. Those are the leeks. So it's just a really colorful, herby kind of soup. Oniony. Anyhow, so this is the lineup. I've got that lemonade I was telling you about. Basically, it's 1 packet of Kool-Aid with some sugar and some water and some real lemon juice, but it's halfway drunk. Somebody got to it before I could put it on camera. And then I've got my those little crispy onions that I fried up in a little bit of oil. Got my cheddar cheese, and with this soup I like croutons. Anything with potato instead of crackers or bread and butter or whatnot. I like croutons because they just burst with flavor, and you actually need more flavor when you have a vegetarian soup. So anyway, and of course I have my salt and pepper. So we're gonna do the taste test here. I just wanted to get a little bit of everything in there. I got a little crouton in there, and some of those crispy onion straws, and the potatoes, the leeks, the onions. So let's try it out here. Well, I think that probably has to be the best potato soup I've ever made. It is really good. You know, it just with the cheese and everything, I put some cheddar cheese on top. I don't know if you can see, but got some cheddar cheese and I got some croutons and all that goodness. It just really is tasty. So, all right. Okay everyone, so that was fun as usual. I'm doing this mostly because I need motivation. I'm not much of a stay-at-home mom. I'm kind of a workaholic actually, and so being at home and cooking and cleaning, this soup endeavor has actually motivated me and helped me to clean and to cook. I'm also trying to let out you know, my creativity a little bit. I also wanted to tell you guys that I also had those red potatoes because the stores are out of you know, the russet potatoes sometimes. So I encourage you to go to your grocery store every couple of days and just to see if inventory is coming in, because from what I've heard, stores which used to get 98% of what they ordered in inventory are now getting only 20%, and 1 month ago it was 50%. Also pick up cans of things, cans of beans. You know, if you need to be in your home for like 90 days, have at least 2 cans a night for 90 days, you know, whatever those cans are. Can of green beans, can of black beans, can of, you know, can of potatoes, can of this or that, so that you can make a soup, you know, if you have to. So 90 days times 2 is 180 cans. And if you think about it, you know, 180 cans, and like they're about $1 a can, you know, that's like $180. So I don't know if you guys have that kind of money, but I sure don't. So I've had to buy little by little, I've had to buy, you know, cans and bags of rice and bags of flour and sugar, and, you know, just trying to make do with the things that I have, but also to, you know, try to come up with ideas to conserve. So I wanted to encourage you guys to, you know, go do a little shopping every couple of days, buy a bag of groceries, and especially if you're out driving around, have a purpose, so that if you get pulled over for whatever reason, you have that bag of groceries that says, I had purpose driving out today. You know, you don't want to be, you know, caught, you know, just out there just roaming around. You know, they'll assume for you what you're doing. Okay, so just, you know, be precautious and go out and buy a bag of groceries, a bottle of water, you know, whatnot. So God bless you guys. I'm praying for you all. I love you, my friends and my family, and we will see you next time. Okay, you take care.